A judge rules against Tiffany Henyard's power grab. Now, the super mayor, the dictator of Dalton, tried to do a little end run on other folks in the village of Dalton, trustees. And what ended up happening is she self-appointed 3 positions. And so the other folks on the council said, oh, that's fine. We're going to sue you. Now a judge has a ruling and the judge is saying, no, we're not doing that. Let's get into it. Here we go. Let's watch a quick little summary video.
All right, we've got some breaking news from South Suburban Dalton, where a judge has sided with opponents of Mayor Tiffany Henyard in an ongoing power struggle. Henyard has tried to work around trustees by appointing her own village manager, attorney, and police chief. The trustees sued. Now a judge has entered an order that clearly states Henyard's picks for those positions are out. No comment yet from Tiffany Henyard. She faces a re-election battle this spring from mayor of Dalton. Henyard is also suing after Democrats voted against slating her for supervisor of Thornton Township.
You know, in every single one of these court cases that we see where Tiffany Henyard has said, I'm going to prevail. I am going to be the winner. You'll see, I'll win in a landslide like Trump. She's not even on the ballot. You know what I mean? It's like, what kind of delusions are you under here? She just tries to, let's get the village administrator, the village attorney, and a police chief. Let's just throw them in there and we'll see what happens. Well, and then a judge, it takes all of these resources. The people that are losing are the constituents of the village of Dalton. And that's just in Dalton where she's mayor. And then you've got Township of Thornton. I mean, the shenanigans are of such a high level that hundreds of thousands of dollars are being spent on attorneys' bills that don't need to be spent. And these are on communities that don't have a lot of money to begin with. So the real losers here are the community itself, because somebody's going to have to come up with money for these attorneys' bills. It doesn't just, the government's going to pay for it. That is you, constituents of the village of Dalton. You are paying those bills. And if you're on assistance, if you're already getting paid and you're not, contributing your tax dollars, you are not working. If you are if you're in a position, maybe you're retired, you're whatever, it's your money. It's money that should be allocated to you that is being taken and spent on attorney's bills by Tiffany Henyard. So maybe Tiffany Henyard gives you a little something. Maybe she gives you some, prizes at Big Bingo or, whatever it might be, gives you a turkey at Thanksgiving. The amount of money that's being spent on attorney bills here that is completely unnecessary, that's being taken from you one way or the other. It's either your taxpayers' dollars are at work or money that could be allotted to you that isn't. So if you're okay with that, keep supporting Tiffany Henyard, because from what I can see, she's just sucking up resources. Maybe you're enjoying this content, but you want just a scooch more of news for reasonable people in your life. Well, if that's the case, head on over to our reasonabletv.com. We've got content like this. Kentucky judge executed by his own sheriff for sextortion scheme gone sideways. Oof, that one, they were running a brothel at the courthouse. Hey, you want to get out of these charges? I've got an idea for you. Or how about LA flash mob mayhem? 7-Eleven ransack, teen swarm. There was just too much stealing going on in that one. We couldn't play it on our regular channels. What's this going to cost you? Well, head on over to reasonabletv.com, the private channel. It's $3.99 a month or $39.99 a year. Get a 14-day free trial. Thanks in advance. I'll see you there. Let's see what the article says. Cook County judge has violated Mayor Tiffany Henyard's picks to serve as village administrator, attorney, and police chief, South Suburban Dalton. It's the latest power struggle to end up in court. You have got so many power struggles going on right now. There is, today is a Thursday and tomorrow Friday. I believe there's supposed to be a special meeting, Township of Thornton, because no business is being done. You've just got all of these things going on, and they're all just distractions because there's all these power struggles. There's all these power plays, this being one of the most significant that literally just had a court ruling. Judge Thaddeus Wilson said that Henyard's lawyer chose not to file an answer to the trustee's complaint that she was acting beyond her authority to appoint people for key village positions without their advice and consent. So let's break that down for a moment here. Henyard's lawyer chose not to file an answer. They said, hey, this is nonsense. This is silliness. You're acting beyond your authority to appoint people for these 3 key positions. Didn't even respond. The permanent injunction entered this week specifically says Ronnie Bird Sr. is restrained from holding himself out as the village police chief or conducting any duties. So, this is one of those things where Tiffany, this is a trifor. This is a trifor, folks. This is what you do if you think that you could hoodwink your constituents into believing that because you're the super mayor, anything goes, and hey, I'm going to slam this on through and see what happens. Well, Henyard didn't even have a lawyer show up. Just let it happen. Just, all right, okay, whatever. I mean, probably got so many other legal issues happening that this is kind of small potatoes compared to the rest, right? It goes on to say that Henyard's pick for village administrator Michael Smith and village attorney Angela Lockett can also not act in those capacities. So she pushed it as far as she could, but didn't even have the decency to send her attorney to the final hearing to see what could be done in her favor. Just totally caved, just boop, gave up, just, took the big L because this is a loss. This is a loss. She's not an empress. She's the mayor, said Bert Odelson, who represents trustees opposed to Henyard. She needs to follow the rules. She needs to follow the rules. She can't just make stuff up. Oh, yeah, you're the chief of police. You're the attorney. You're the village administrator. Hey, let's go, guys. No, doesn't work like that. Got to follow the rules. This coming from Bert Odelson, the village's attorney. I mean, even the fact that we're just reading this is absolutely absurd. It's ridiculous. We shouldn't be reading this. It shouldn't have come down to this. There was no way legally that Tiffany Henyard was going to get the green light on this, like so many other of her claims that have gone to court. Well, see you in court. All right. Who's picking up the bill for that? Hey, all you senior citizens in Dalton, your community is picking up the bill for that. And that means there is less money for all that other stuff that Tiffany Henyard's been giving you. Period. Full stop. Mic drop, right? If you can't figure that out, if you still want to support Tiffany Henyard, you know what? That's on you. But when there's no resources left, hey, that's on you as well, because you've made those decisions. So I know the village is wildly divided over supporters of Tiff Tiff and, those who aren't. But the harsh reality is these court cases keep coming up. And guess what happens? Tiffany does not prevail. She does not have the law on her side. And that's what I think will happen in Township of Thornton. She didn't have an assessor on her slate. Disqualified. I mean, how hard is that to figure out? Whether or not there was 400 people outside or not. Doesn't really matter. I don't think it really matters. Mayor Henyard proposed the agreement and all parties agreed to it, Henyard attorney Max Solomon said. Mayor Henyard will continue to pursue and follow all her legal options and procedures as clearly agreed in the order. In other words, just cave and take it. Just take it. Oh, yeah. She knew she couldn't win. Okay, whatever. I guess we'll just follow the rules. Henyard's battle for control for key village positions has paralyzed many operations. Right now, Township of Thornton doesn't have insurance, right? Doesn't have insurance. December 1, insurance, no go. So they are operating in an extreme position of liability, meaning if something goes down, they don't have insurance, out of pocket, right? Be sued? Doesn't look good. WGN Investigates has documented concerns about Henyard's spending. There's that word again. Concerns. We have great concerns about Henyard's spending and leadership in both Dalton and Thornton. Federal investigators have served subpoenas, part of an ongoing probe of both of the governments Henyard runs. This week, Henyard closed and locked the Thornton Township building. I recorded all those podcasts. Those should be coming out anytime now. Closed the building. stating that since the day before, this was on a Wednesday, I'm recording this for you on a Thursday, but yesterday, folks at the Township of Thornton rolled into the building. They're trying to file paperwork. The assessor's trying to go to work and can't. Office is closed up, locked up, because Tiffany Henyard said, hey, we don't get some of this business taken care of. I'm going to have to close up the building. If we don't get insurance taken care of, which it's alleged that she could go ahead and just, re-up that insurance policy. You don't need to have a quorum to make that decision. You can just do it. But she is basically holding that hostage to get the other two members, Chris Gonzalez and the other person, her name is just blanking on me right now, Carmen Carlisle. She's trying to get them to come into the meeting to have a quorum so that she can ram down the fact that she's going to try and put another member in the Jerry Jones position who dipped out a while ago. And there's this legal thing going back and forth that if Tiffany Henyard fills that position with her person, then you've got a tie-breaking vote. A lot of politics going on. But in the meantime, you've got a position where you don't have an insurance policy, a liability insurance policy. That leaves your township pretty wide open to exposure from a lawsuit happening. You know what I mean? It's not looking good. Not looking good. So this week, Henyard closed and locked the Thornton Township building amid an ongoing dispute with trustees who have boycotted meetings to block her ability to appoint a new trustee to replace an ally, Jerry Jones, who resigned from the board to spend more time with his family or something else, health issues. Okay, whatever. Henyard is suing township Democrats who blocked her from participating in a caucus to select who would appear at the top of their ticket. You guys probably all know this stuff, but we got to rehash it because this is ongoing and this is happening in real time. She is suing the Democrats, and then immediately that lawsuit had to be pulled back. Because who was it? The mayor of Harvey or somebody didn't want to be included on the lawsuit. Yeah, fully support this lawsuit. Tiff, fully support what you're doing here. I just personally don't want to be on it. Just pull me off of this lawsuit. It wasn't Harvey. Who was it? I can't remember now. She also faces a re-election battle for the mayor of Dalton this spring. So in February, Village of Dalton will have its primaries. And then in April, Village of Dalton will have its general election. And I would bet heavily on Jason House. Clean House 2025 will prevail there. If he doesn't, I don't even know what I'm talking about. I don't even know what I'm doing. Because there seems to be pretty broad support for what he's doing. Does not seem to be broad support for Tiffany Henyard. She's got her own folks. She's got a bunch of senior citizens. She's got people that she has basically bought by giving them freebies, giving them free stuff, big bingo, turkeys, during the holidays, that kind of thing. And that only goes so far because when you've got an FBI probe, when you've got, trying to circumvent the procedures for hiring folks for various positions within the village. You got stuff like that. You got a Lori Lightfoot investigation going on. And Tiffany Henyard continually tells us, I'm going to show you the truth. I'm going to bring you the facts. And she just never does. And then, something comes down like this, something as simple as, hey, about those appointees, judges saying, no, you have lost this one, the big L. The big L. Yeah. And so Tiffany Henyard, it's a try-for. That's all it is. It's a try-for. And it's a try-for that did not end up in Tiffany Henyard's favor. Because, it went against the rules. You've got rules. Weird. Huh. Yeah. And a judge said, no. Yeah, they can't hold themselves out as the chief, and these other people, no go. Get back to doing legit stuff. All right, that's it for me on this one. Thanks so much for being here. I'll catch up with you in the next episode. Bye for now.